Hello, I'm back with Touhou 17, Wily Beast and Weakest Creature, Reimu, Eagle, Normal 1cc. Yup. Uh, what a strange game. What a strange entry in this already strange series, huh? Um, a lot of strange decisions. So, first off, we got a kind of return of the Touhou 12 UFO system. Now instead you pick up these animal spirit token things, as well as other assorted power-ups like that big group of power right there. If you make at least 3 of a certain spirit animal, you enter a powered up state, depending on what animal it was, when you get 5 of anything, any 5 chips. And if you get something like that power there, when that meter right there that just appeared runs out, you'll get whatever extra stuff is there on your 5 icons. So in this case, it'll be a bunch of power. Yeah, I'm not quite sure. When I started playing this, I was really excited. I thought, you know, I thought the UFO system in 12 was pretty cool. Here, I feel like these spirit animal things, while they are, like, you know, very powerful and they can contribute to, you know, you clearing something much faster than you would otherwise. I guess I just found it more annoying than anything. They're quite large, they take up a lot of space. I can see the vision with them flashing before they change, but you'll notice if you get close to them when they're flashing, they'll stop changing and they'll slow down and shake, kind of like that. So, you know, if you position yourself so that, you know, you want them to run into you at some point, that just won't happen. And, you know, they'll just kind of slowly wobble in place and, yeah, you can get killed. Oh, that's, yeah. Been caught up talking about the game mechanics. This is not a pretty run. At all. This is a very lame run. I'm pretty sure I bombed quite a bit here. And it's really frustrating too, because I don't like doing that, especially now that the practice tools are so, you know, well made in these later Touhou games. But I cannot get over the visual noise of this game. It is ridiculously high. The combination of all the little, you know, spirit things flying around, and just how noisy a lot of the later spell cards are, on top of, you know, the power-ups generate a ton of noise. Eagle especially, I really love homing, obviously, I've been using it in every Touhou game. But it just fills up the screen with, like, you know, this massive red, you know, neon light show. It just makes it incredibly hard to see bullets, especially, you know, like I was saying, in those later spell cards, when things are already super busy on screen. To just have that extra clutter is really difficult to play around. So that's my cope. That's my cope for this game. Because I went in to spell practice and I was able to beat, you know, every Mayumi, every Keiki spell, even the final spell. I did it all. I did it all with my Reimu kit on my difficulty. I did it multiple times, and but when it just comes to the actual, you know, doing it in game, I can't get any of it to work for some reason. And the only thing I can really attribute it to is how damn busy this, whatever you want to call it, this gimmick is in this game. That said, it is cool. That's kind of the best thing I can say about it. There's really not of a great better selling point for it than that. You can speed through the game ridiculously fast if you can consistently collect these power-ups for important moments, like during certain spell cards or boss fights. Well, yeah, mid-bosses, I should say. You can really, you know, speed things up significantly. But as I'm kind of alluding to, that becomes less and less reliable the longer you get in a run. As things get more busy, you can't just, you know, fly halfway across the screen to get that power up you need. You're gonna have to figure out another way to do it, and well, that's probably just gonna be the normal way, right? And yeah, I kind of wish there was a mode in this where you could just turn off the power-ups. I get that that doesn't really make sense, but I don't know. There was a classic mode. I guess, you know, point device is such a larger shakeup than this, so I can get why, you know, that would get a classic mode in the point device mode, but this is, you know, it's still quite obnoxious. And that aura, too, like, having that aura on your screen, just, it takes up more space, and it takes it up in the worst spot, too, right? Like, that's, you're looking at your character in those tense moments, right, or looking ahead, you're looking around there. You don't want, like, an animated fire flashing and whipping about on screen when you're dealing with stuff like that. I've just kind of been ripping on the game mechanic. I do really love a few things about this game. I think the backgrounds are definitely some of the best I've seen, like across the board. I think this whole game actually has really neat backgrounds. I can't really think of another game in this series where I was consistently like really pleased with just the backgrounds. Yeah, maybe not since like Mountain of Faith. They were really good in Hidden Star and Four Seasons too, but I think it's better in this game. I'm dying on really shitty spots here. You can see, I got hit by that spell earlier on the first boss, and now I'm getting hit on this, 12 and 14 spell card here. This is definitely a sort of resignation kind of run. So yeah, if you came here looking for great insight into some of the spell cards, I mean, I'll do my best as usual, right? I'm not just gonna sit here and shut up and let, 30 minutes of Touhou play, even though that might be what some of you want, but hey, whatever. I'll do my best, this is not gonna be the cleanest run imaginable, unfortunately. Excuse me. I don't know if you can even hear that if you're drinking water. Yeah, you can see the eagle power-up putting in work here, just completely shutting down a pattern on the stage. I guess I could talk about, I think you've seen all three at this point, maybe, or maybe not. Maybe we haven't seen the wolf yet. So yeah, there's the wolf, the otter, and the eagle. Eagle is obviously big homing. Okay, there you go. So that's the wolf. Wolf is this wide but straight, high damage power-up. And the otter has these little circling, orbiting flames that destroy bullets. Not very good, the otter. I think the otter is my least favorite for sure. The flames themselves don't deal damage if you go and shotgun a boss. And there is gaps in the rotating flames. So, bullets can still get through, and if you get hit, you don't die, thankfully, but it does shut down the rest of your power-up, which, that sucks. You don't want that. Yeah, back to a more traditional system here, though. I say traditional, sadly, the Touhou 16 system, despite being the older modeled one, is not the traditional now. That's a strange thing to think about. Yeah, back to life pieces, back to bomb pieces. You get them whenever you pick them up, and then they're included when you finish a spirit mode power-up, beast mode power-up, I don't know. I didn't read the manual for this one, I don't know what the official terms for all of these are. Yeah, and these power-ups too make it difficult to judge the real difficulty of a lot of these stages and patterns. Because as you can see, I'm just kind of sitting here blasting, and you could say, yeah, that the fact that I can just sit in one place with my eagle power-up and not have to do anything to clear a stage is an indication that it's, an easier game. But, if you're doing a no-bomb run or something like that, or a no-power-up run, I don't even know how you'd manage that. You'd have to, maybe deliberately go for, not getting 3 of a kind of any of the animals to count that. I don't know. Yeah, the mechanics kind of trivialize a lot of this stuff. I don't like a lot of the music in this game. I think it's you know, mostly okay. I bring it up though because I really do like Kotaka's theme. Hers and Keiki's, I guess, are the two best themes in the game for me. Yeah. I guess it's pretty. There's a lot of identity in the bosses in this game as well. I think every boss has very defined. You would be able to see their patterns, and you know, if you could remember what that identity is, you'd be able to figure out, you know, this is, you know, Kotaka's spell card or something. This kind of fan here, these basic attacks are really scary. They're not. I don't think they're even that difficult, but every time I you know, had to really lock in to deal with those. Yeah, this is another strange. This is a strange spell card to be using Eagle on, because as you'll notice, the homing amulets will home toward these wisps that are firing, and not always Kotaka. So I don't know if I bomb out of the corner. No, it looks like I get out okay. But yeah, you need to put in some very deliberate effort to destroy Kotaka here. Yeah, I don't think I timed out, but I came close to it. I think I'm waiting for a power-up here. So you may have noticed that power-ups will just kind of ricochet around the screen. I guess I'm not. Yeah, I don't know what I was doing there. But yeah, power-ups will ricochet around the screen, even like when the bosses are talking and stuff like that, which means you can kind of game the system to make sure you get, you know, whatever animal you wanted most, you know, whatever setup of power-ups you wanted most. Again, it's another change from 12, right? In 12, if there were any UFOs on screen when the boss came on, they just disappeared, and that was that. So I can see this is kind of supposed to be like 12-2 in a way, at least in terms of the mechanics. But yeah, I don't know. I think I would rather play 12 than this. I think managing all of the stuff in this is just a little bit more work than the UFOs ever were, right? In UFOs, you just needed 3 of them. And you know, if you got 1 of each color or 3 of a kind, that would get you something. But here, you know, you can, I guess you do get something technically. I don't know if I've done it yet in this run. I haven't been paying too much attention. But if you go into the, you know, you get 5 things, but you don't get any 3 animals, or you just get 5 power-up things instead. Oh, that sucks. I missed a life piece there. As I was saying, yeah, power-ups, if you don't get 3 of a kind or more, you just kind of get an invincibility mode, where you don't power up at all. If you get hit, though, you know, the thing will cover for you like normal, so you won't die, you won't lose a life or a bomb there. Yeah, that did remind me as well. So, strange enough, you know, in Hidden Star and 4 Seasons, if you used your seasonal power-up, it didn't fail spell cards or anything like that, but if you get hit while you're in the beast mode, that does count as a failure, which I found really strange, because I don't know if, oh, that really sucks at having enemies spawn on top of me on the top of the screen there. Yeah, I think, again, the beast mode, especially the eagle, I'm guessing, maybe it's not as bad with the other ones, but it really just kind of prevents you from having to learn the game. It's like, that's something, like, I didn't, like, you know, I've got, this is not my first run or my second or third, right? This is, you know, run number 20 or something. So I at this point, I would know not to be at the top of stage 4 at that point for something like that, if this was a normal, like, Touhou game. At least that's how I feel. I feel like I would have learned not to do that, but because you can be so strong and so reckless with the beast modes, it just kind of makes you a worse player in a sense. Oh my goodness, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you notice there, me trying to bob into it, and then it just slows down enough that I don't grab it there. Okay, so now we're on Yache, stage 4 boss. We can start talking about the spells a little bit. Her basics are pretty normal. You just kind of hang back and dodge. I'm about to get killed right here. This isn't one of those spells, again, I was able to beat in practice. I just never could get the hang of it in game, I guess. The big issue with it is this red orb here will chase you around while this whole like hexagonal grid thing is being set up. The orb will speed up if it travels in a straight line. So what you're going to want to do is like, so you know, you can see, assuming I didn't die here and I was like down here instead, this would be heading straight down here, right? And it would get faster the longer it's heading straight in that direction. So you want to make sure you're over somewhere else once the hexagon grid goes down and the next one goes up, right? Because you want to make it turn. It'll lose all of its speed at that point. Oh, I died over there instead, yeah. Yeah, and the grid doesn't clear if you die as well. You may have just noticed that there. Same with a bomb. A bomb will clear the red orb, but not the grid. Yeah, pretty tricky start to the boss. But then, yeah, we're back here again. And just kind of hang towards the back, slide through gaps, not too bad. This is a pretty fun one. I don't know if I succeed at it here, but you kind of want to slip behind Yache there. I end up bombing. That sucks a lot. So the problem there is I waited too long to go up behind her there. You can go earlier if you want. I usually go later. Like you could go in there right now and just follow behind this trail. So if I had gone up right now, like at this point, I would have been a lot better off. But because I didn't, yeah, there's these ones that came out in the corner here and they're heading left right as I'm trying to go up and cross. They're not low enough for me to get over. So I'm like, ah, hell, I need a bomb. And so bomb I do. And so bomb I do. Yeah, another basic attack. Yaches are pretty samey, especially if you're locked in and you're dealing damage. You can get through it pretty quickly. This is a fun one. This is one of the only ones I could beat really consistently. That's not true. This is one of the, this is one I got a lot better at beating consistently. So you want to wait for the circles that are collapsing to collapse. That's when you want to go in. And then you want to move with the expanding circle, right? And then so you want to look, once you've done that and you're moving with the expanded circle, obviously it's going to push you into other circles. So you want to look for other contracting circles to head towards, right? So I can slip through right there. Alright, and then that's the green and red pattern of them done. Same story with the yellow and blue. Just looking for those contracting ones, and unfortunately, like I said, with the eagle power up there, I was able to burst Yache down so fast I didn't even get to show you the cyan and pink pattern. But the cyan and pink pattern is pretty simple. It's just a bunch of expanded rings at once that all collapse at once. So you need to, you know, dive through it once they've all collapsed. Otherwise, you know, you'll get trapped. Or maybe not trapped, but you'll have to get really lucky or you'll be very good to get through the spinning expanded circles. But yeah, this is stage 5, you know, this is one of the prettier backgrounds in this game. I mean, it gets prettier too. You got like that, you know, cityscape kind of in the background there, but it gets nicer. It moves a lot. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I definitely wasn't in the best mood during this run. I do really think that plays into it, right? If I'm in a better mood, I might hold myself to a higher standard and like be like, oh crap, you know, this isn't the run or something like that, or you know, I'll be more focused. If I'm in a bad mood and I'm trying to do a run, and I'll just like make mistakes. So far, I feel like I've just made, you know, dumb decision after dumb decision, really. Like I lost a life on, I didn't lose a life, but I got knocked out of beast mode on a stage 1 boss. I lost a life to stage 2 boss. I don't remember if I died actually on Yache, but I definitely bombed a fair deal. And yeah, I did die just then. Not now, obviously I was a bomb before this. Oh, yeah, it's a rough run. It's a rough run, but I did 1cc it, and, you know, per my own self-inflicted rule, I must talk about it. I must commentate on it for posterity, if nothing else. This is a pretty tricky section of the stage here. You just need to move very slowly, and very slowly. Use your eyes. It sounds condescending to say, but really try and look for the kunai, and space yourself according to the kunai, because if you don't, you can get trapped very easily just with how dense this pattern is, and the way the fairies fly off stage there prevents you from looping around the top like you might be inclined to do. That was really sad right there, because I thought I was gonna die, but I dove through the tiniest gap. Yeah, oh man. Yeah, I don't know, it's a strange thing. I've noticed it in a lot of these Touhou games now. I mean, it's me, not really the games, but this kind of cynicism that comes in when I'm playing in a bad mood and how it manifests in a Touhou game is really different from like any other video game. I'll be like more okay with bombing, strangely enough. That's me, you know, being upset and being frustrated at the world. I'll take it out by bombing more often in Touhou. And I kind of get it. Okay. Alright, I'll stop rambling about personal issues right now. Talk about this spell card. So right off the bat, I got this spell card wrong. I mean, I kind of tried to correct, but you want to start this as high up, as close to Mayumi as you can, and then just kind of incrementally work your way downward as needed. If you do that, you don't have to move left and right at all. You can just kind of shift downward to win the day here. But I don't do that. I end up P-bombing because I wasn't in the right place. And you can kind of see the issue now. Like this otter is floating in the way of the thing, and because of the way the power-up system is structured, I just lost like a bomb piece there, because, you know, I can't get out there to grab it at that point. This is definitely Mayumi's hardest card. You can see I haven't beat it in a run once. I only beat it in practice. The general strategy is, again, to be as close to Mayumi as you can, and then when you're working your way back down after the first set of blue knives get thrown after you, want to destroy these clay dolls as soon as you can, because when these rings come out, this just becomes 10 times harder. Try not to get too far from the center of the screen, or else you're going to start losing damage on Mayumi, and the clay dolls will follow you around the screen, so you'll get boxed into the corner. It's rough. She has a ton of health for that spell card too. It's a strange thing. Yeah, I think I took the hit there on purpose, just because I wanted to make sure I could get that life piece. Her basics aren't too bad. Just kind of arrows in sequence. This is probably her easiest spell card. You can kind of just sit back here at the bottom and then sit through these pretty obvious slits in the yellow arrows here. I'm pretty sure I die on this run actually anyway. So that's, you know, a great advertisement, yeah, for the very easy spell card. Yeah, this is a brutal run. It's hard to watch this and believe that I'm going to beat the game playing like this. It might be, like, God, one of the worst runs I've had. This spell is just chaos. You can go through it pretty quickly if you sit in the center and kind of do the same gradual shifting downwards thing as the spell progresses. But yeah, I mean, just look at all the different bullets on screen. You have the yellow pieces and the red and the blue and the purple arrows, and yeah, it's just a mess. You know, you can see a pretty good example of the flow of the game kind of being broken up by this beast mechanic here. But then we get, you know, this freaking awesome final looking stage and final stage theme as well. It's a pretty good stage. Just, you know, theming aside, background aside, music aside. Pretty simple pattern here. You can see all the Dao, Kendama things all converge their bullets on one spot, so you can misdirect pretty simply. And just take advantage of how much screen they give you there. Yumi returns to shoot some arrows out. It's a pretty mixed pattern. You just kind of have to get into the right spot so that you have the arrows crossing outwards. Gosh, I don't know. I guess I did not practice this. You can't practice it. It doesn't count as a spell card. I would explain why I never practiced it, and can't practice it. Okay, so, you know, some decent enough maneuvering from me there. Yeah, I'm down to no lives at this point. I'm still sitting here baffled at how this is the winning run. It's just been embarrassing moment after embarrassing moment, catastrophe after catastrophe in this run. There really haven't been any great triumphs. I guess I've been bombing very cleverly. Again, the beast mode mechanic is such a huge carry in this game. You can move through it so brainlessly in so many cases, and absorbing a hit for you is obviously fantastic. And then the cherry on top is Katie herself is not that hard. I don't think she's a very hard final boss in the grand scheme of things. Yeah, kind of strange. After LOLK, you know, the final bosses have kind of been on the backpedal in terms of power. Anyways, yeah, very simple spell here for the first spell card. You just kind of want to look for the bend after that first volley comes out. This you can just fit through very simply. But this part, though, you can kind of see the slant here. You want to be on the wider side, obviously. It won't be super obvious what the wider side is. You'll kind of have to look up. So if that helps you more, you could look at which side is higher here. So, you know, this is higher than this, so you want to go this way to get more space. I'm pretty sure you can get through on this side, too. It will just be dicier. And it does change. It won't be the same side every time, so you can't just go left and be safe forever. Yeah, very, very straightforward spell card. Their basic attacks are all centered around these, you know, ball and star things. They all vary in terms of difficulty. This one, a little bit trickier. This is probably the most difficult spell card she has, I'd say. It's just this kind of... It just looks like chaos at first, but then it turns into this kind of pattern here. I still am not sure what the consistent place to be in to get through it is, and I was able to beat it in a spell, or in a spell practice. I just kind of hang out in the same area I did this time, just kind of look for an opening, but, you know, when it comes back, I have no clue what to do. And then this second part is much easier. It's just balls falling straight down, you know, and then I get killed on it, of course. But I would, you know, I'd stand by that. I mean, I guess this is just kind of a testament to how much easier this fight is. You know, I'm not even halfway through it yet. I've got no lives, 3 bombs, no life pieces, and, well, I guess I'll have 4 bombs coming up soon here. But, yeah, very dire straits, frankly. This is almost certainly your easiest spell card. I take it all back. Lasers pretty well telegraphed. Just get in the right spot and don't move, you know? Don't worry about not hitting her. If you have to, you know, skip a volley to be in a safe spot, you can get through this very simply, just playing it safe. Yeah, what a lucky grab right there. If I hadn't gotten that power up in time, I would have died. And that, yeah, what do I have to say, right? That's my point exactly. As I would have gotten filtered very hard right there, being on the side and that close to the final boss. And, you know, I'm just sitting there, my thumb in my mouth, like, I just want to touch the pretty purple bird, you know, and getting hit by a starry meteor instead. Anyways, is a little trickier, but there is a pattern to this one. I don't think I showed it off very well right here, but if you are in the dead center, directly under your K key at the start of the spell, you can knock out these 3 clay guys, and you don't need to move at all. And these yellow crosses, whoop, right there, it will just swoosh right by her like that. And then you have to play the gaps, unfortunately, which I probably just bombed. Yeah, I was gonna die for there, for sure, if I didn't bomb. But let me see if I can find a very obvious gap. Oops. Yeah, so you would have wanted to be like over here or something. These are going to pass by this way, these are going to pass by this way. You'll have this coming at you, and maybe this as well. But it's not nearly as bad as what I was trying to do. Yeah, you can slip through that gap very easily. Very, very, very easily. But I didn't. I was, oh, whoops, that wasn't even the right. I went back too far. Still, same gap exists. It can go straight through there in that chance. I don't think the same gaps are always all over the place. Maybe they are, because, yeah, you can do that first part pretty... I guess it depends. It depends where on the screen Keiki is. Which that would make sense why you can do it in the beginning, is because she's always in the center in the beginning. Anyways, another pathing spell here. This is 100% set in stone, locked in. You can kind of sit in the center at the beginning of it, but eventually you're going to have to make a hard choice. If you stay in the center at this point, you'll have to go over here and slip between a tight, like, a gap between these two, I think, that gap there. Or you can go this way, and you'll have to be out on the right side of the screen for a bit, before you can come back to the center and go back to dealing damage. Whichever is more comfortable for you. Again, this is a pathing spell, so like once you found the way you like to beat it, that's the way you should do it. I shouldn't be alive right there, honestly. I'm not. I mean, I'm playing very well, it's just I'm playing it much more difficult than I need to. Again, there's beast mode carrying the game. And yeah, you're forced to bomb right there, because, you know, what else am I going to do in that case? So yeah, at this point, the second to last spell card here, the beast, whatever your beast of choice is, will just spawn a bunch of their sigil, their symbol, permanently. So the screen's gonna get really busy. And the best part is this is like a super easy pattern, at least here on normal. The gaps to go through are pretty... What is with me talking up how easy everything is and getting hit this run? I know it's a running theme on all of these runs, but like this run in particular has been especially bad. So here's like the worst of it, right? It's like, this is it. This is the final spell card. And, I mean, you can see there's almost more of these damn eagle sigils on screen than there are bullets. And you can be like, well, that's nice. You know, they're going to tank a lot of shots for me. And, like, that is true. But, man, I would prefer if I could see, frankly, honestly. I wouldn't have to worry about the dozen of purple bird heads floating around my screen. And, yeah, I can see how I'm able to beat this with no lives. Yeah, I take a hit, gather 3 things, I just grabbed 5 more, bombed, grabbed a bunch more, bombed, got it, yeah, I guess, it's so anticlimactic. Yeah, I don't know, maybe, is this a consistent theme for my, because I'm getting to the point now. I've played a lot of these Touhou games, right? At least the mainline ones, and so there's three left, right? Unconnected Musketeers after this, um, and then the 19. I don't remember what 19 is called, and then Fossilized Wonder. And I'm just thinking, is the secret to a bad Touhou game like too much changes? I think about like the games I like the best in the series, right? I'm thinking like 14. I'm thinking like 8. I'm thinking 10. I loved 10. And the games are fairly simple. 8 has some complexity to it, but it's basically all for fun, right? Like you have the last spells in 8, and you've got, the different final bosses and final stages. And you have like the time mechanic, and you have the human yokai meter, and if you don't know any of this stuff, it means it sounds really confusing, but it doesn't actually have an effect on the moment-to-moment gameplay, right? It's mostly just for like scoring purposes and fun. Which, I mean, yeah, if it's for scoring, it is for fun. Frankly, you don't need to have a certain score to beat the game, any of these games. So it's interesting to think that these games I've ended up enjoying the least are the ones that try to change the most. Because I definitely didn't like LOLK that much. In terms of the ones that do try to, shake things up a lot, I think 12 is my favorite. But I guess the only other game, I can't think of another one I would say tries to shake things up more than 12 and 15 and this. These are definitely, the three oddballs, three black sheep of Touhou so far. I mean, I may eat my words. There may be some bizarre crap, bizarre shit in Unconnected Musketeers, or the next 3 games I've got to look at. So, yeah, it'll be interesting though. Getting, I don't know if solemn's the right word. A little bit, reflective, a little bit pensive, thinking about, I mean, obviously we've got the great news of the Touhou 6 remake I talked about last time, and I'll be playing that for sure, but, yeah, I'll have some big speech, prepared for Touhou 20 when I 1cc that. Probably not. I'll probably just ramble like I normally do at the end of these videos. Anyways, hope you enjoyed. I know this was not the most informative one. This was just kind of another, Quaker Complains video about the current state of this Touhou game. Yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. And I'll see you in Touhou 18 Unconnected Musketeers. Bye-bye.